Hi all, welcome back. DJ at Saipan part 12. Is it? Yeah, 12 I think I'm uploading all, I'm putting together 11 just now. So this is the same night, however it is getting late. Probably not going to get an awful lot done here, but I still felt like I wanted to get started but just checking things, comments, etc. And I've noticed Martin, he went and posted a couple of his questions individually. uh, Maybe that big block of questions it's I don't know, freaked Joe out a little bit. So he wasn't getting a reply to them, so he went and posted his questions in separate. He's posted a couple of them today, and he actually got answers to them. Yeah, so that's good. One of them was about and I noticed the question. It doesn't say it in the scenario options about starting with a one naval gunfire and airstrike point. Although the way I read that, it says it started on AM turn, but so I'm not sure. Maybe the other scenarios are that, or maybe it should say it there. However, Joe did confirm that they start with one each. So yeah, we had that right, and remember we just gained another airstrike point. The other part to the question, there was like he put two parts to the question, was regarding how airstrikes kind of work. I'm going to leave that one to think about. Although I suppose I should start understanding how these work, because I've got 2 points. I need to also watch because something in the back of my mind tells me that maybe we could lose the points if we don't use them anyway. Might be wrong with that. There's artillery. These are all kind of new things to the D-Day games. You used to get a naval gunfire marker. There was none of this airstrike, and artillery was like units on the map. So I should probably read up a bit on that, and as things are moving on. His other question, was regarding the LVTs. And LVTs is, and it was the follow-up question to my question regarding what weapons do they have. So Joe's come back and he's said, he's kind of brief with his answers, but okay, as long as we get an answer. He said that the LVTs have a machine gun and a Browning, and obviously a machine gun fulfills the same as a Browning. And the LVTAs, hang on, let me just stretch up there. Machine gun Browning and same as tanks. So he said about the LVTAs that they have machine gun Browning, and then he just says and same as tanks, which is a kind of strange way to put it, because tanks have artillery, bazooka, machine gun. Obviously, machine gun covers as Browning. And then, if they were adjacent, they have flamethrower. So, I can only assume, why not just say same as tanks? And why say Browning and machine gun at first? I don't know. Okay, so we'll assume that LVTAs have the same weapon as a tank, I think. They act the same as tanks. And then the LVTs just have the machine gun Browning. Okay, well, you kind of figured that the LVT wouldn't have as much. That sounds about right. But don't think it's written anywhere. Joe's not sort of pointed us to anything in the rule book that says that's noted here or there. So all these things hopefully are getting noted and written down, and hopefully compiled into some errata or clarification that other people don't have to sort of wonder about, and hopefully can get uploaded in the future. And his second part of the question was, he's basically sort of saying that LVTAs, although he understands it's not LVTs, can act and do all the following. There's quite a selection of them, and basically it's all things that tanks can do. And Joe has stated that LVTs and LVTAs cannot do what a tank can do regarding movement under fire. I think that's the only bit. So as for an LVTA, that is the only bit that it can't sort of do. So it can fire normally as a tank, and it can soak up hits, and well, it can take step losses. I can't. I've just got it up on the computer across there. But yeah, good to know. So Martin will maybe note that he's got some answers to that, and then split up his big chunky questions into smaller bunches now, and he'll maybe get answers. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Right, well, there's nothing more to say, Grant. So let's try and get a bit of gameplay in. So I'm just starting up here, and we're in the US action phase. So I thought I'd start up here, and we might have a wee close combat because we've not done that yet. Well, we've not done an awful lot of anything yet, I suppose. So we need to know what we're doing here if we do close combat. Now, also, I was wondering that, well, these are out of range, so see, the thing is here, remembering back a little bit, it's not the worst idea to possibly be disrupting this instead. I think I want to say that if it's disrupted, we get to go first within the close combat, if that's right. Well, Grant, you know what? You're going to have to read up on your rules. I mean, I have read about these parts because I knew these were parts of the opening part of the game, but there are some bits that I've just I've read over, and because I've not done anything with it yet. So again, here was me saying I was going to take my rule book away last night, I think. I never done that. So one thing to realise, this is the regimental HQ. So we are right in saying that the regimental HQ itself, obviously, will get a free action. Units that are stacked with or adjacent to their regimental HQ unit at the start of the US action phase. So that's pretty straightforward. That's easy to understand, that one. It's a 6th Marine Regiment, isn't it? Yeah. 6th Marine Regiment. And they're from the 2nd Marine Division. But it's a regiment that this guy can... So he can supply free actions to anything here that's from the 6th Marine Regiment, and anything here. And... Right, hold on there then. Yeah, I just wanted to double check what Joe's response was regarding my LVT situation and command and all that. LVTs can be commanded by basically anything, as long as they're within... If they've got a battalion HQ, if they're stacked with a battalion HQ or a regimental HQ, if they're adjacent to that. I'm getting the impression that's what he said. And I thought it was the same with the LVTAs, but he's talked about LVTAs are the same as tanks, and they get assigned to a battalion or a regiment. And this is the bit that... This is a bit that in the HQ phase, but I mean, that doesn't start until game turn 4, and we still don't know how that works. And that's one of Martin's questions. I hope he's going to bump that one to the top, because I'd like to know what that all means. Because Joe's just said they're the same as tanks. They get assigned to a battalion. Assigned to a battalion, was it? Operate and command the same way tanks do. Assigned to a battalion or regiment and within its command range. Sorry, I don't know if you heard me there, I was over at the computer. Assigned to a battalion or regiment and then within command. I mean, we don't know what that means, I don't think. Right, but hold on though. I mean, 10.2.1 on page 23, regimental HQ or command post capabilities. Yeah, I should probably read a bit. I mean, I've read it, but I should read that. These are on board now. US Marine Corps HQs cannot command US Army units. This was the bit I read about the Army units. Each regimental HQ has the following capabilities. An HQ/CP commands all 3 battalions of its regiment. Understood. And when we're reading command here, that kind of tells me that they can give free action to them. I think they're almost the same kind of thing, if you like. It may command one extra battalion from a different regiment of the same division. Right, there you go. A battalion not in command by its regiment is out of command unless an officer here is providing command. The battalion is commanded by another regimental HQ. Okay. An HQ CP commands all US tank and engineer units of the same division if they are in command range. So that's, I mean, there's none of this assigning bit there. And I think that's all I really need to know. So if that, and let's just say, when he says tank there, I'm going to class when I read tank as LVTA, because the only time I'm not going to consider it as a tank is within the movement under fire rules. And I think that's what happens. So with that in mind, jumping back to 7.1 again to see what it says about free actions, it says units that are stacked with or adjacent to their regimental HQ unit at the start of the US action phase, to their regimental HQ unit. It does kind of feel like they should be attached, but I mean, I was saying that it's in that the regimental HQs are in command of tanks from the same division, isn't that? Where is it? An HQ allows no. An HQ commands all US tank and engineer units of the same division. So it commands them. Units are stacked with or adjacent to their regimental HQ would get a free action. Well, yeah, it's not awfully clear, but basically I'm trying to find out if the LVTAs that might be in here are adjacent to this HQ, and also the engineer units that have landed, which we might well have in here. There you go, he's there. So we know that this can get command. We've got that, but we've not really had clarification. Engineers and LVTAs apparently in tanks all look like they need to be attached in some way. But reading that there, well, you know what? I'm just going to keep going with this. I'm going to say that they're from the same division, right? This engineer's from that same division. Hang on though, the LVTA is not got a division. So how can that be? How can that get given a free action then? Unless it's somehow attached to the 6th Marine Regiment. But I don't know how you do that. And the bit it talks about it talks about assigning them. And that's step 4 of the HQ phase, which doesn't happen until turn 5. So I don't know. But I think I'm going to just have to push on through this. Well, that's not your way of doing that, Grant, is it? Well, we're just going to get stumped every little thing that comes up, because okay, it seems fair that I can count that engineer to give it a free action. I think I don't feel 100% comfortable with it, but units that are stacked well or adjacent to the regimental HQ, and again, just looking at command, because that's where I need to look. An HQ commands all US tank and engineer units of the same division. As for the LVTAs, I don't know. Look, if this regimental HQ can give a command to this LVT, then surely if this was an LVTA, it could do the same. I'm going to go with that. And somebody's going to have to tell me it's wrong, because I'm not going to go and ask any more questions about that. That's what I'm going to go with. So somebody can tell me I've got that wrong. I know Martin will be following along, so he can. I mean, it looks like Joe might have been watching some of this. I don't know. But right, so and then yeah, there's another engineer down below there as well. So I think everything here's getting a free action. These are all getting a free action. Well, this is stacked with its headquarters. They're getting a free action, and then the rest down below there is disrupted anyway. So that's good. Yeah. Now, remember, they've got to be from the same battalion to attack as well, Grant. Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to attack and disrupt, or are we going to just try and go for the CC? Well, it's definitely still better if they are disrupted. However, I think this is a change from before. I might be wrong with that, admittedly. The Japanese always go first in close combat, so they're going to draw the card first. It doesn't matter if they're disrupted or not. I think if we're disrupted, something bad happens to us as well. I've not quite seen that bit yet. But if we were to get a hit on them, if they weren't disrupted, basically we start off by putting a disruption marker on them. And then the next step is, if they're disrupted, we remove a depth marker from them. And then the next one is, if already disrupted and no depth marker is present, eliminate a Japanese unit. So, and they have built depth there, so yeah, that wasn't good. I get the feeling we should maybe attack this and not go daft, really. We could possibly get what is it, 6, mind you, that's first battalion, isn't it? Well, yeah, because you're restricted to the battalions. Well, I could attack, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm assuming the restriction in attacking is only the battalion thing, isn't it? Like, can we attack in any amount of tanks and engineers attack, etc.? Attack must include at least one rifle infantry HQ or engineer unit. And then all rifle infantry companies must belong to the same battalion. So that's a restriction there. If they're at range, they need to be in the field of fire. And then remember later on, if they're at range, that they get hang on, one other rifle infantry company from the same division may participate. No, that's the NCO thing. Yeah. So we can only attack with one battalion. Yeah. One regiment, heavy weapons company may also participate in attacking battalion, so for the same regiment, right? And then tank units must be within range, and we're also going to consider LVTAs within that. It does say no more than 2 tank units are participating in the same attack, so we can only have 2. I'm guessing that tanks and LVTAs will combine to that too. All attacking tank units are in command. And then we've got artillery points, naval gunfire, airstrike may be included if there is a naval gunfire marker or airstrike marker to expend. Additionally, at least one attacking infantry unit has a radio or is in command range of a regimental HQ. So just in case we want to use the naval gunfire or the airstrike. So yeah, that's all it kind of says. So, and then Joe did. Well, I didn't see that written anywhere, but he came back and told us the LVTs can add their 1 point for each, rifle infantry company attacking. So if you had 2 LVTs and only 1 infantry company attacking, I don't think you could do that. Okay. So let me pause. Well, that's pretty good attack. I've got 11 in there, and I've actually got 13 in there. And they're from E26. So, sorry, they're from 26 Regiment. 2nd Battalion of 6th Regiment, right? And then there's another engineer in there, so that gives us another 13. That's 24 in total. I think this is Woods, isn't it? Yeah. So 24. Now remember, it's got a depth marker underneath. That's what's happening underneath it. Hang on. Let's get a bit close up. Yeah, so 24 is going to be half to 12, isn't it? And obviously we're not going to have the weapons. Oh, right. It's a bit different. That just means it moves back up a row, doesn't it, Grant? So let's consider the depth mark. I mean, I have no idea what they are. Let's say an in-between and go for a 2, isn't it? So that would be 4. 12 to 4. Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? 12 to 4. So that's 3 to 1 odds we would have, and we would not have the weapons. Well, that does take you 2 to 1, so that would give a Japanese disruption. However, if it happens to be a 3 or another weapon that we don't have, if it was a 3, what that would be only, sorry, 12, 3. No, what am I talking about? Yeah, no. Yeah, there's 2 strength. 12 to 4 is 3 to 1. 12 to 5, so that's only 2 to 1. And then we're not going to have at least the CC taking us back to no effect. And if it gets worse than that, that takes us into a bad place. Well, it couldn't gain depth because it's already got depth. Japanese unit and reveal depth marker. No, Grant. Wait now, it's got a depth marker. Yeah, I'm forgetting about that. Hang on. So, right, hang on here. Japanese unit and unrevealed depth marker. That's what we've got. If we were to get 3 to 1 odds on that, yeah, no, we could, yeah, obviously, yeah, but we're not going to get 3 to 1 odds, are we? Because we are going to move up 1, because we're not going to fulfill the CC. Because the Japanese unit and unrevealed depth marker is JDX. All Japanese units disrupted, depth marker is eliminated. That's A? We don't even look at the depth marker? That's weird. Am I missing something here? Okay, so I'm looking, obviously I was getting a bit carried away and I was looking at this column still. But the Japanese unit is not alone. We've got a revealed Japanese unit, but it has got an unrevealed depth marker. So this is the column we're on. So, I mean, I know I can't achieve 3 to 1 odds because he's got a CC requirement, right? If he did not have a CC requirement, something's wrong here. Something's surely wrong here. If he just had, I don't know, mortar or something like that, then and as long as we have 3 to 1 odds, so we've got the weapons, Japanese unit and unrevealed depth marker is JDX, all Japanese units disrupted and depth marker is eliminated. Oops, I know you're not seeing that. JDX, all Japanese units disrupted, depth markers eliminated. We've not even seen the depth marker. That seems odd. Right, okay, well, we're not going to have that result. What is JX then? One Japanese depth marker is eliminated. Ooh. There's no disruption though. Yeah, there's. I would have thought that you had to reveal the depth marker. I mean, this one here, if it hit 3-2 odds, it's got the R. That's reveal the depth marker and recalculate the attack. This is totally different then, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, I dare say this was similar to Iwo Jima, but I do remember things being slightly different. Like I say, I didn't really play it I didn't really get very far, but so that's odd. But I mean, all I was trying to do here is disrupt. Really, that's kind of what I wanted to do, but I'm not really going to get to disrupt it, am I? The best I'm going to get is JX, I think. For every weapon requirement does not move to the next higher row. Yeah, we're not even going to look at the depth marker. This is... Hang on. Yeah, because if I go and attack the unit, we don't reveal it. It's only if I was going in and CCing it, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think how it happened in the previous game. You had to have... No, as long as you had more than double the strength, wasn't it? The unit was disrupted. If you didn't have the weapons, that was it. So this is harder. Because we know there's only 2 strength there. So we know we can get... Well, we've got, what did I say? 12 strength because we're attacking into woods. So we've got 12-2, we've got 6-1 odds. However, you don't get 6-1, you get 3-1 odds. And then, because we don't have the CC requirement, we're going to drop to 2-1 odds, and we're going to get a JX result. So, although it's just going to eliminate the depth marker, it's going to leave the unit sitting pretty in it. Maybe that's why. Maybe it is worthy of just going in and CCing then. But if I was disrupting it, I'd feel better about it. But then again, we've got a depth marker. We would get rid of the depth marker at least. I don't know. Well, Grant, like you've said, let's try and just get on with the game, Well, with that, does that not mean I don't need to use all the force that I've got then? Because all I need to do is get the 3-1 odds. So can I not just attack with this maybe? 7, 10, 11. Oh, yeah, that could be good because that halves up to... So if I attack with this into there, that's 11 halved, and then we get to round that one up. So we round that up to 6. 6-2 is 3-1. That works. And you can't attack in close combat. You could barrage in close... Yeah, that's the whole thing. Barrage is what does the disruption, doesn't it? But we've nothing to barrage with. We're waiting on tanks. What about the LVTAs regarding barrage then? That's right. Maybe that was part of the question. Hang on. Yeah, LVTAs can barrage, and that's been just confirmed. That was one of Martin's question. Well, we need to be at range. It would have to be in this hex, wouldn't it? And we don't have that. Where's all the LVTAs? Hiding. There's not one. No, that's a step wall. So there wasn't one in there. There wasn't one in there either, was there? Well, that might have been, because then we could have done that. Well, you can't barrage an attack either, but we could have barraged to possibly disrupt it, I think. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to attack with this, because I've not got much time left. I'm going to attack into there with that. Now, we get the 3-1 odds. It might be a bit daft, so I don't know. It might be better going in with the CC, but the fact he's got depth. So all we're going to do there is eliminate that death marker. I've not even seen that, so I'll just put it back somewhere. Yeah. But there was no real point attacking with that as well, because it wasn't going to do anything extra, was it? We had 6-2, which we had 3-1, so we were going back to 2-1. JX result, which is 1 Japanese depth marker is eliminated. That's all that happens. So I think that was good. Okay, right. Let's see if we can get another attack, because I'm running out of time now. 31 minutes in. I'm going to try and take this guy out. I mean, we know. Ooh, there's a thought. What is this guy? He's unrevealed, I think. Yeah. I've just made a mess of things there. Just thinking, if I take this out, he'll withdraw into that hex. But that's not a bad thing, I don't think, because then we lose that CC requirement and we get a demolitions requirement. And yeah. Well, right, so what do we need to take that out then? Again, it's into the woods. We need demolitions and basically the unit's on its own. So we need 3-1 odds. So we need 6, we need 12 strength. Attacking into here, right? Oh, it was 11, I think, wasn't it? 10. No, it's 13. 13 strength in here. Using the HQ. 13 into there would be rounded up to 7. 72 is 3-1. We'd have the weapons. Yeah. We'll just go for that. Yeah, I think so. So now hang on. They're from second battalion. We're using engineers here. I mean, I'm just doing it now because I don't know. Now the fact we're attacking with the headquarters here as well, the battalion headquarters. That doesn't matter. I know once you've moved, you've got to be careful. Well, it used to be the case. You've got to be careful once you move your headquarters. You wouldn't then get a free action for these guys, but you always leave your headquarters till the end, really. Okay, so we've got enough. We're going to get a Jai result on him, I think. So he's going to be eliminated. He's an elite unit, and he can withdraw, and I think he's going to withdraw into here. And now we're, like I said, so you would need some strength though, Grant. What is it? 4 in there. No, I was counting up. So 4, but you're attacking into the woods. So I'd need 12. I need 24, and we've got exactly 24 strength, haven't we? Because I counted that already, thinking about the depth marker. I mean, things could change between now and the next turn, but so now we've used these 2 stacks. We've not used an action yet, but we could get ourselves a bit of moving done. I think I might be running out of time though, so yeah, I better pause for the night. I think I do still hope to finish at least this side of the US action phase. Well, when I say finish it, remember you don't do your disruption removal and your preservation moves are the same, aren't they? They come at the end, don't they? So, but as for all the other stuff, hopefully I'll attach that on at the end of this if I get a chance. Well, hopefully tomorrow sometime, but we shall see. But I better call it a night now, guys, because it is getting a bit late. So I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll just attach on at the end of this. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, this is just a continuation of part 12. Don't have an awful lot of time at the moment, but I do have a little bit of time, so I thought I'd get another little bit of this US action phase done. And then to talk about, yeah, Martin got his answers to all his questions. I have to say some of them look a bit, I don't know, he's had to follow up with a few comments, so hopefully Joe will come back to them. I think some of them maybe Joe's misunderstood, and I don't quite think it's all been cleared up anyway. One of the ones that I talked about last night, and probably might be a part of this video already, was Joe had answered the one about the weapons, the LVTs and LVTAs, and initially in that answer he had said that LVTs get Browning machine gun, LVTAs were the same as tank, he said, but then he also spelled out what did he spell out? Was it artillery, Browning, machine gun? And we thought, well, bazookas were mentioned there, and also flamethrower. Well, apparently, I think they have all what a tank has. They don't have a flamethrower. I think that was it. I'll confirm that when it comes to time. So there was a slight change in the answer there. However, he's got all his answers, and there's maybe some follow-up stuff to talk about, but I won't go into any of it now unless something crops up as we're doing stuff. Okay, right, well, I was down here, I've not moved the HQ, which I'm possibly unlikely to do anyway. Well, actually, there possibly might be an option to move it from here to here, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, actually, because I'd be moving under fire, wouldn't I? So I might not have that option. Yeah, I don't think I am. 7.3.3 on page 14, movement under fire and infiltration fire. The second bullet is regimental HQs and infantry HQs may not attempt an MUF on their own, but may move with a regular unit attempting movement under fire. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that now because there's no other units to move with, because I've made an attack with them, didn't I? Okay, well, anyway, so moving down to this selection and stuff, it's clear that the stuff in here I want to move out. I want to probably move that into there, but I'll leave that a second because that's an HQ, and as soon as I move that HQ out of there, although these units are disrupted underneath, these can possibly get a free action while that HQ is there. However, they are adjacent to the 6th Regiment, the regimental HQ anyway, so that doesn't matter then, Grant, does it? Okay, so I was just looking at, this is all in this hex here. I was just looking at first I thought, well, my initial thought was these two are okay, it's just this one that's disrupted and it's got step loss. I thought I could move them into there. Now, there's not going to be a movement under fire. This is a nice safe hex. Although yellow steady fire fires into it, and we do have a yellow Japanese position, well, we're hoping to maybe have a go at that as well, and maybe that won't be there as well. And then I thought, well, I could do the preservation move out of there probably with the disrupted infantry unit. However, then I thought, well, is it not better just leaving them there and removing the disruption? But look, brown and red both fire into there with intense fire. So it probably is better me making that preservation move out of there and just move all these units out. At first I thought the reason this was disrupted was it was overstacked, but it's not. This is 3 steps because it's got a hit 7, 8, 9, and it's not. This was actually, that's a question I wanted to talk about. I never thought about it at all. It was one Martin had asked and got an answer to there. Although the answer, well, the question was along the lines of, if you were, if you had a, sorry, could a hex still be concentrated if it was, you know what, I better get the question. Yeah, the question was, as the Japanese hit limit increased, if the US target is overstacked but not a concentrated target. So what he's saying there is you could have 5 units in the hex, but it could still be under the 10 steps. But Joe's reply to that was, I thought an overstacked hex was automatically considered a concentrated target already. And then he follows that with it is. So the answer is yes, it is. But me and Martin recommented on that and said, where were we? This is a target. He says just what I've said. A target can have more than 4 units, but less than 11 steps. But I now understand that intention is that they are treated as concentrated targets in both cases. So yeah. And something I hadn't thought about, I wish I'd read that question of Martin's, and I was panicking as I was looking down that last Japanese fire to see if I had possibly had stacks of units that were overstacked, however not concentrated. But I had a look, and I think everything was okay. The only issue we had was the one that I made a wee adjustment to, if you'd say. I wish I had hunted more for that, and the fact it was the biggest stack on the map, I'm a little annoyed with myself. I did genuinely want to adjust it. That's all I can give you, and you can take it from there. Right, so we don't have a problem here. So I actually think we might be better getting this guy out of this hex, getting him into that safer hex. He's still going to be disrupted, but so be it. If we leave him there, if we just leave him there and take the disruption off him, brown or red fires next turn, he could easily just get hit again. So I think that makes sense. So let me just double check about the preservation move. Well, actually, we've got to wait. We can't do that yet, can we? Yeah, I mean, he's getting I'm saying he's getting a free action from the regimental HQ anyway, but he's disrupted, so the only free actions he can do are what we're going to do, or remove his disruption. Right, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to move their units into there. Now I just wanted to maybe look at the possibility of I don't think I'm going to do it, move 2 hexes, but do I have the ability to do that here? I don't think so, but who knows, maybe I might be able to move 1 and then 2 into here. And although this is red's firing into here, it's just steady fire. And you know, to be honest, it might be that I should look at this stack first and see what we're doing with that, because it would be good to move into there. Yeah, this is the thing, Grant. You need to look into these things. Think about it. Okay, right, so I've just been looking through these stacks and seeing what's what. I think what I'm going to do is this here is going to, it's 10 strength, is going to attack here. There's a tank unit underneath there. Oh no, the tank unit's not got range to barrage anyway. But there's a tank unit under there, and if I can, I'd like to support this attack with that, because both the 2 ranged infantry units in there have taken a hit, so they've not got range anymore. And it does look like the rest of this force are going to attack this. So I don't think any of this is going to move into here. So I'm definitely going to move this HQ. Thing is, I probably want to keep that together with it, don't I? It's both from the same battalion. Although his regimental HQ's there anyway, so if he was in there, he'd still get a free action. I'm just trying to see if I can move into that hex though. And I think I can. Movement limitations. Unit must end its move, then if fully imply the unit has expended all its movement points. Well, for us to move from there to there, and we are leaving an intense field of fire, but however, we're not moving into another fire from that colour, from any colour. It's just got steady yellow, isn't it? Yeah. So there's not a movement under fire problem with that. Now it's moving into a woods hex. So what about it says leg +1. So that would take 2 movement points for us to move into that woods. And how many is it we get? Is it 3? Oh well, we're not going to get into that woods then. Unless it's 4. I get the feeling it's 3. Now where did it tell us that? I did see it. I was hunting for it before, but give me a second. Yeah, it's that bit where I thought was kind of odd, because you're looking at the rule for movement action 7.3, and it's actually back on the previous page 13 under movement with 7.3 in brackets. Move using a movement allowance of 3 during game turns 1 through 4, beginning game turn 5, it then jumps up to 4. Yeah, so we're actually not going to be able to move. If this had been one of them had been a clear hex, we would have had the movement to do it, I think. Okay, well that clears all that up. We are going to move this into here. Now, I could, admittedly, yeah, that's cultivate, that's just, well actually that's 1.5 movement points to move into that. Oh, sugar cane cultivated. I wonder what that hex is there, just as a glance at it. It's got just a little bit of it in the corner. I didn't read anything about that. I always like the games that tell you either way or the other. It's either got the most of it in it, that's what you count, or any of it in it, that's what you count. I've not read anything in here about that, so you know, is this a clear hex or is it sugarcane cultivated? Anyway, back to what we're doing, Grant. Right, so I'm going to move that into there, I think, and then this will come into here at the end of the action phase. I mean, why can't I do it now? Can't I just do it now and then it gets it out of the way? Well, I'll leave it. I'll leave it just now, because with me tilting my units, I'm going to look before I finish my action phase. I'm going to come back and look at all these and just say, right, can I do any more with them? Do I want to do any more with them? Or, I mean, clearly you would still either be wanting to remove the disruption or preservation move it. Okay, so that's that. I want to know if this tank can help support an attack on this, because that would give me, this is 10 strength. Now hang on, Grant, you're going to have to spend an action on that one. The tank under here though, well, I've just resigned myself, sorry, I'm calling it a tank, LVTA, it's right down the bottom. I've resigned myself to the fact that if it's in command of a battalion HQ or a regimental HQ, it's getting a free action, an LVTA. And when the tanks come on board, if they're from that division and there's if there's a regimental or battalion HQ that can command them from the same division, I'm going to give them a free action. Because, yeah, I could keep asking more questions and just bogging things down. So I'm going to go with that. But by all means, point me out, tell me I'm getting that wrong, guys. If you understand it better than myself. Yeah, so I'll bring him up the top, hang on. So this is the guy I'm talking about, and like I say, I'm going to give him a free action because he is stacked with this HQ. Okay? So, if I've got that wrong, please let me know. So, and then the idea is to give them, now that does mean you're going to have to give this an action, Grant, and remember this is, that's going to need an action too, so that's going to be 2 of your actions there. I've not used any yet, but however that's going to be 2 of them. So you need to make sure that you're not wanting, this is the thing, you might be wanting important actions elsewhere. Well, that'd be the rest of what we've got to look at yet. And looking at that, these are going to get a free action. This, however, is not. And that may well be a wanting to, oh, hang on though. Can the preservation move to there? No, because that's green steady and red steady. And we'll be going from intense to steady. So it is movement under fire, isn't it? Right, what else is there? Well, this is free because it's got an HQ. This is going to give everything round about it free. And this is free. So in actual fact, that would be the only other one that we would need an action for, I think. Yeah, so it does look like we're safe enough to do this attack up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this an action to attack, I think. So that's 10 strength. That's one of the LVTs as well. But yeah, I was considering like, well, barrage. But you remember, to barrage, the unit needs to be revealed as well. And those, I mean, we're not considering any close combat here, which I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I'd prefer close combat. It's a bit, I mean, going the previous games, and it looks very similar to what I've read. There might be some differences. It could always be a bit brutal, and it's a bit random. You could end up really lucky or really unlucky. It's just a draw of the cards, I suppose. But right, no, I think I'm going to go ahead with that. So that's That's third battalion of the 6th Regiment, and we're going to have to give that an action. Right. And I guess the reason I want this tank is that's 10 against the woods, so it's half to 5. That still gets halved as well. However, it doesn't get half for range. Remember, the LVTs A's do not. Tanks don't get their. It's only infantry at range get their firepower reduced in half. So we would have 12 halved to 6, and I feel like 6 is a better. Now, hang on, he's not got a step loss, so he's bringing all the weapons. That's good. And now we know what weapons the LVTs and the LVTAs bring. That's good. So yeah, let's just double check. We can. Tank units must be within range and in the field of fire. I bet it's not. It's not. I think we probably looked at this one previously. Great. So it would need to be in the field of fire of the target. Right, we'll put them down the bottom again, Grant. That's not happening. Damn. Well, now we're not sure about going ahead with this attack because we've only got 5 strength. 6 strength seems much better, doesn't it? So 5, if we hit a 2, obviously we've only got 2 to 1 odds. And they would be disrupted as long as we've got the weapons. However, if it jumps up 1, it would be no effect and we would have the unit revealed. Or we just go with, yeah, come on Grant, let's speed it up a bit. Let's just take some chances and get it moving a bit better. Because there's nothing really else I'm going to do with the units anyway. I know I'm using an action to do this, but... Right, okay. 5 strength, we're attacking. Into here. There's a 1. It's a machine gun. It's got bazooka. That's perfect. Because we have the weapons and we're 5 to 1. Japanese eliminated. Yeah, well that was maybe lucky, but... And that's one of the ones that gets removed right away as well. It's not elite. Oh yeah, that's off. I didn't think about that. Because if that had been elite, it could have withdrawn down to there. Now see, that's why I maybe want to move these units. I got lucky there, because I probably want to move these units here into here. Yeah, that was silly if you think about it. That had been a weak unit, we would have now had a unit in here. I dare say we would have maybe had an attack at that. But no, hold on. Surely a Japanese unit can only be attacked once. But if it moves... I don't know, there's another one to think about. Okay, just having a look at what we had in this stack, because I thought it might have been disrupted due to overstacking, but it's not. It's just step loss markers and disruption markers. That's what turns the stacks into, and then you look at them and you think, oh. Although the one that I should have looked at, right, I'll not go back into that. So we don't know what this is, but it's disrupted. But there's no really where else for this to go. Now, we'd have to give this an action, wouldn't we? We don't need to give this an action. What were we contemplating with this? I think we're just going to use this to attack here as well, because this is woods as well. It just, you're still sitting in that intense field of fire. So part of me wants to move from here to here. Although, no, that is going to be movement under fire though, Grant. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Because I'm moving from red intense to red steady. Well, you're going to have to do it at some point anyway. Well, what strength? I've not got enough strength to attack this with just this hex though, because this is disrupted. So I've only got 5, 6 strength. Half to 3, that's not enough. Even though the fact this is disrupted. So what do we have in here? Another, yeah. Now, hang on. These are different battalions, Grant. Oh, how's he stacked with him? How did that happen? Yeah, he drifted, didn't he? He drifted across. So he can't even command. Well, oh no. Well, hang on. Couldn't this attack and the LVTA, so that'd be 5, 10, 11, which rounds up nicely to 6, doesn't it? I think I can do that, because he's from 3-6. The LVTA doesn't have a designation, so, and like I've just said about them. So, and then what do we get a free action for this guy? Because I want to say that maybe we do, because let's go back and revisit the options there. Yeah, this is the one that's a little bit, another one of these ones, 7.1 free actions. Infantry units are stacked with an infantry HQ unit. Well, that's what that is. It's not from the same battalion. However, I think I asked that question, and Joe basically quoted the answer from the actual command rules, I think, that he only commands his battalion, he only gives free actions to his battalion, and, however, one other infantry unit from the same regiment, I want to say. Where is it? HQ provides an undistracted infantry battalion. HQ provides command to any infantry unit belonging to its battalion and one other rifle infantry company from the same regiment, if those units are within 3 hexes. Yeah, but we're not talking command, we're talking free actions, and to get a free action with them, they need to be stacked with it. So up until turn 5, I think that's when the 3 hexes kicks in. So yeah, that's how I'm reading it. I know he's saying the 3 hexes bit, but that doesn't really kick in the free action. If you're talking free action rather than command, okay, I mean this could command something 3 hexes away. It doesn't give it a free action just now. That's not until, well actually, is that ever? Oh, you know what? We'll work on that when we get to it. So yeah, I dare say I could do that. So what's going to happen with this disrupted guy down the bottom? Well, there's not enough of what we can do with him, is there? This isn't a safer hex, because we're saying we'd be better out of that hex, really. The only other thing we could try is moving, yeah, because we're giving that a free action, but you can't join in the attack, because it needs to be the same battalion that's attacking. That's right, yeah. But we could give him a free action to maybe make that, well, however he can make it as a preservation move anyway, because he's in a beach landing box, so he doesn't really need the free action, does he? Now hang on. 5, 6. Yeah, 11. Yeah, because I'm including that as well, aren't I? Right, so I'm going to attack with these two. I'm going to leave this guy on top now. He will be able to. So that's 5 strength into there, and then I'm going to attack with another 5 and 1. So that's 11. And this is going to cost me an action to do that. I kind of want to put that underneath now, don't I? Right. Okay, let's just go for it. I'm getting to the stage now where I'm just chucking things in a little bit. Once I start thinking about it, I think, you know what, we need to just play this game out and see what happens. And, you know, I can also get called out for things if I'm going too quick and messing things up. So what did I say? 11. We're in the woods. It gets halved, gets rounded up to 6. This guy is disrupted already. Oh yeah, well this is worth... The only thing with this is, if this is elite, well there's nothing we can do about it. He'll withdraw into there, won't he? Well, there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, let's see what he is. He's an MG. Oh, he's got CC. Right, well nothing's happened. We've got, what did I say? We've got 6 to 1 odds, but we don't have the weapons, so it goes up a road to just disrupt him again, so he stays disrupted. At least we know now what he is, so that's that. And hang on, I needed an action there as well, didn't I? So I've spent an action on that. My guess is the disrupted unit there is going to just undisrupt now, because I did think if we took that out, he might have then had a preservation move into A7. Okay, not to be, and we can't go in and close combat that now. Yeah, well, he's been attacked this turn. So, well, do we? This still has a free action, or well, you could call it a free action or a preservation move, I suppose, Grant. Well, why don't we just leave it then? We'll leave it because it's going to be a preservation move into there if we want to do it, but we are going to be moving under fire. Right, move on. Move on so that I can at least wrap this bit up with a part. Because we've got all this chunk to do, and then I can wrap it up as a part, because I think I've got half an hour on the first part of this video, haven't I? Okay, let me have a wee think. Okay, this is fiddly. The amount of counters, I'm looking through, I've got to remember it's from the same battalion. It's quite cumbersome really to work it all out, but here, I'm talking about attacking here. Looked at this is 3 strength, okay? Now we can't cut off communication, I think I've talked about that before. It's 3 strength, but we're only looking at the mortar from above. That's what I seem to recall reading. He's in the woods, okay? So 3 strength. As long as we have the weapons, we need 9 strength attacking them. Now remember, we're firing into the woods, so we need double that, so we need 18. So looked at this first. This is headquarters from 3rd Battalion, and he's got an infantry company with him. There's an engineer, and also that. So that would be a total of 10, 13, 14, right? But that's 3rd Battalion, so we can't use this guy because he's from the 1st Battalion of the 8th. However, there's this guy down the bottom. In fact, I'm going to put him down the bottom. He's from the 1st Battalion. However, this guy's from the 3rd. So we can actually use him and this tank. And remember, they're getting a free action from being adjacent to the regimental HQ. That would give us, what did I say, 14 in there. Oh, I've counted wrongly there then, haven't I? Well, I don't need it all. So I could attack with 9 from there, but I think I'm able to keep that LVT-A back, because it might be able to help with a range attack on there, and he is in brown fire. So, what did I say I needed? 18. So if we attack just with that, from 3rd Battalion, and that, obviously, that's 14, 17. Yeah, no, I don't need to use the engineer either. So let's move that out of the way. I've got to remember the HQ is still going to be in there to give free actions, and it doesn't matter if it's attacked as long as it's not moved out the hex. Oh, is that right? I know it says that once any type of, I happen to have that open at that, but once any type of HQ is moved, it no longer provides command for the rest of the action phase. That's just saying moved. And so I think that's okay, as long as it's where it is. If it attacks, I can't remember back to the old games, because it was somewhere in the old games, once you moved the HQ, that was that. But as for attack, well, of course, these weren't in the old game, were they? HQs were HQs, they didn't attack. I'm going to say it's okay, but you can understand that if it wasn't okay, then I wouldn't make this move until I'd done free moves with the other units. Now, that might, however, have a knock-on effect, because if I attack with this just now, into here, that's, what did I say, 7, 14, 17, and then I want to grab that 1, right, so I want that down the bottom, so that's 18, that's exactly what we need. Now, if I am not allowed to now give this a free action, because if we take this out, then, oh, careful, Grant. I don't want to be doing this first anyway. I want to cover this, don't I? Right, hang on. Yeah, because I want to occupy this hex, because that'll just withdraw. I'm assuming it can just split off from that one and withdraw into there. And yeah, I don't want that. I think I still want to eliminate them, even though they're maybe going to come back. But I don't want them moving about on the map, because I need to get through to this line, this red line, and try and get some victory points. Oh yeah, and that was something I was thinking about. If I'm going to carry on with the game and go above turn 5, I'm assuming I'm going to have to reach the draw conditions of the victory points. Where is it? Where's victory conditions? If the player has not achieved at least 15 victory points at the end of the game, the player has lost the game. If the player has achieved more than 15 but less than 24, the game is a draw. My conclusion to that is that, because that's just the victory condition for scenario 1, that we need 15 victory points to carry on with the game. So I need to start looking at that, about where I'm going to get them from, etc. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm giving this an action, this whole stack, because it's not getting a free action. That's the L3, 8, so that's part of the 3rd as well. Oh no, that's going to be movement under fire as well, because it's red's firing into there and into there. Oh well, that's a catch-22 then, isn't it? Because if I take the red position out first, he's going to withdraw into there, and then I can't move into there. That sucks. So I think what I'm going to have to do here is take the movement under... Oh, actually, we don't need to use an action for this, because this is going to be a preservation move. Yeah, and we're not disrupted, so we can move into the field of fire. Yeah. And the thing with this is, if I take everything with me, then at least we've got that LVT that we can just throw to the whatever. Yeah. But here's where it catches you out, because I can't do that until the end of the action phase. So I've got a spare action to use. So rather than it being a free action, a free preservation move that I've got to wait till the end of the turn for, because I don't want to wait, because this unit's going to be in there then. So I do need to make this move first. Yeah, I'm going to do this. So we are all going to, as a stack, give this an action to move into A9. And that is going to be movement under fire. And remember that see, there's an LVTA here with us. This does not help us with this. Neither of them help us with this movement under fire. If, however, one of these had been a tank unit, like that, then there's some benefit. To be honest, I get the feeling when I read it, it was like, you still get hit, but you're allowed to continue moving. I think it was something like that. It didn't look like it was amazing to have a tank with you, but I could be wrong with that. Tank unit may enter an attempt to leave an intense field of fire. Yeah, I'm not going to read into the tank stuff just now. So we will be, we're not accompanied by a tank. An on-tank unit must expend its total movement points to leave an intense field of fire if unaccompanied by a tank unit. Yeah, and you've got to watch this. Even if you're moving into a hex that's occupied by a US unit, there's still a check. Although it checks steady fire rather than intense. So one fire card's drawn. The colour matches the colour of the field of fire. So we're not wanting red. And it doesn't matter the fact that we're moving into steady, I don't believe. We're moving from one field of fire to another. And we're leaving an intense one. So if we're leaving a steady one, I think you need the symbol as well. But leaving intense, and because we're moving into steady, is irrelevant, I think. So yeah, I'm going to make that move with him. So I'm going to give that an action to move into there. And we're going to draw a card first, because at least I can then just hit the LVT. So drawing a card, not wanting red. We get away with that. Okay, good. Well, it's better, isn't it? So we're moving all that, and yeah, we're moving out of all this intense field of fire as well. So we're moving into A9, and yeah, and that was a paid action, because if we'd done that as a preservation move, we wouldn't been able to do it when we wanted to do it, which is right now. Okay, so that now lets me carry out this attack. I just hope that everyone else is a free action. I think it is, because you can see, well, this is disrupted. This has got a headquarters. These are all adjacent to the regimental headquarters, so all good. Right, so moving back to here then, we want to attack, what is it, this, right, and we're going to leave the engineer, is that right? 7, 10, 11, yeah, 11 and the 7, right, I'll put the engineer back on top, so that's 11. And then we can still make a free action with that engineer, because he's stacked with that HQ. That's how I'm reading it. And then, well, I'm getting the 7 from this as well, but I'm going to swap them about. When I meant swap them about, I put the attacking unit down the bottom, so that I've still got a move with these guys. And he was getting a free action as well, he was getting it from the regimental HQ. They're all from the 3rd Battalion, so that was good. We've got 18 strength. We've got the mortar. We've got the weapons. 18 is cut down to half. We've got 93. We've got the weapons. This is nowhere to withdraw to, so it's going to go into the eliminated. The reserve units pool. And this is eliminated. That's my assumption. So another machine gun unit down. And remember, it had flanking on it as well, but because the detachments all stack on top of each other. So yeah, that was good. I like that. Right, what? Well, yeah, this is 2-8. That's 2-8. Right, pause and have a think, right? Right, it's the same thing again there. I thought, what am I going to do with this guy? I might as well move him into here, because he's from 1st Battalion. In fact, where's his buddies? Well, they're back here, I think. Yeah, they are. That's the heavy weapons. Where's the rest? Maybe some in there, because these are all disrupted under this, and so is this. So we've only got this unit, the LVTA. This is from 2nd Battalion. So we could join this together to attack Brown. Or, yeah, see, they couldn't help an attack on Blue. Mind you, what terrain's that? What is that? That's like a hill or something, isn't it? That's a contour. Like, what is that? That looks like woods. Yeah, so that's woods, and that is gonna have to be looked into. It's like contour. It's like it's a hill, isn't it? Let me look at that. Okay, it shows contour on the movement, the terrain key. Ooh, that's something. Hang on a second here. Yeah, I think we have done that. No, we've not done it anywhere else, have we? No. This move into here is into a railroad hex. So, and we've got 2 AFVs we were taking in there. Yeah. So both of them are susceptible to breakdown, I believe. So how do we do that? It says draw 1 card for each LVT not entering along railroad hexes. Right, let me find out where that is. Yeah, it's on the next page. Terrain and AFV breakdowns. Certain terrain types may cause vehicle breakdowns when entered by US AFVs. For purposes of this rule, tank units are different than any type of LVT or LVTA. Important, for the following rule, treat LVT and LVTA the same. If terrain type is marked with an asterisk or asterisks on the terrain key, the US player must draw a card for each tank or LVT enters the terrain. If there's a single asterisk, well, there's not. If there are 2 asterisks, well, there are not. Number 4, if there are 3 asterisks, draw 1 card for each LVT unit not entering a hex via contiguous railroad hexes. If the target symbol of the card is on the drawn card's unit is disrupted. Okay, so it's target symbol, it's nothing to do with colours. Any mounted infantry being carried by an LVT may dismount in an undisrupted state. I'm not bothering with mounting my units yet until I find a wee bit where we can move along a road or something. I don't see the point. I think Martin even commented once he got some answers to his questions about LVT's landing units. There's no real point. And I understand that they can move along a road and get you there quicker, but we're not there yet, are we? So yeah, so I'm going to have to draw, if the target symbol of the unit is on the drawn card, the unit is disrupted. So I've drawn 1 card for each LVT, so there was 2 of them. So I'm going to draw a card for, I'm going to draw a card, well, they're both diamonds actually, so I'm going to draw a card for the LVT, yeah, the LVT first, and if it's a diamond then he's disrupted. We get a circle, so no, he's okay. And then for the LVTA, we get a triangle. Oh well, we got lucky there. So they're okay. Need to watch that though, I think that's easy to miss. Just when I was thinking about, oh, I don't know, it got me thinking anyway. So, from somewhere. Yeah, I know it was. I was wondering what else I was going to move in here, and it's an LVTA, and again, that would be moving into a railroad hex, so we need to check that. But again, this is brown to brown, and brown fires. Movement under fire again. So the dilemma is, do we take the chance with the movement under fire first before we make an attack on this unit? Because if we attack this unit, I'm going to do it at some point and flip one of these over, right? If we make the attack first, this is an elite unit, then he can still withdraw into there. Our communication is still traceable to there. So that makes you think that, well, it's a gamble, isn't it? Because if we attack this and the other, if we don't eliminate it, or if it's not a non-elite unit and it's eliminated, then these can safely move into there. So how do we do it? The fact we've got an LVTA with us is tempting me to... hang on though. No, I'm still getting a free move to do this, because I'm getting the free move from the regimental battalion. So again, we don't need to wait till the end of the turn to do it. I think it's better to take the hex, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to do that. So this has got a step loss, and this LVTA are going to... they're going to get a free action from their battalion, from their regimental HQ into here, and that is movement under fire again. So we're wanting to avoid brown this time. So let's draw a card, and we get away with it again. Good stuff. Okay, and now we're doing the same. The LVTA is going to check for breakdown. So hang on, we can get them moved in. Well, we'll get that moved in case it's disrupted, and then I'll put them on top. Sorry, can you see that? Yeah, I just set them aside just now. So we're going to check for a circle. If we draw a circle, then that'll be disrupted. And we get a diamond. I hope you're seeing the cards. I'm just fastening them up in front of the thing. You trust me anyway. I don't cheat. What was that going down there then, Grant? Down at that big stack. Down in blue 1. We saw you, Grant. Anyway, okay. So he avoids disruption as well. We've took that hex. That all worked perfectly. Assuming we've done it all right. So now we can make an attack on brown. And yeah, well, to be honest, it's only these that can do it. So I'm just going to do it. This is 10 strength. This is from 2nd Battalion of 8th Regiment. 10 strength. 2nd Battalion of 8th Regiment. That's 10 plus 7, 17. Nice, because it's halved. We're going to get the round up again. Is that what I do? I think so, because me and 10... Oh no, yeah, I was looking at this hill. Yeah, forgot to talk about, or did I talk about it? There's a contour, but on the combat effects chart it says hill, and it's got a 3 in brackets, which tends to me say that's its elevation level. It gives 2 times Japanese unit strength. So, but I can only attack with this. Well, I would get a bit of range support from that, but remember that gets halved. So I'd have what? 4, 7, I'd have 11 attacking into here. I think we'll just go for the brown position. Yeah, let's just go for the brown position. So we've got 7, 14, 17, half. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Nah, I don't think you can take a chance. If I was getting... Oh, yeah, that's what I forgot about. I was going to use that LVTA, wasn't I? Damn. I was going to use that. Mind you, I needed to do that to make them movement under fire, really, didn't I? I don't want to take a hit on the infantry unit if I've got an LVT with me. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just leave it as well. We've done it now anyway. We can't reverse that. So I'm just going to attack the brown position. So we've got 10, 17, halved is 8.5, rounded up to 9. Let's do it. So 9 into here. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's just a wee 1 again. So we would have been able to get away with it the other way. Well, we definitely have the weapons, and that guy's gone. And our machine gun unit gone. That's good. That's good. Right, let's finish off this part then. We've only got... Now, I'm going to leave all my disrupted units till the end, because that's what you need to do. So, but I will end the part here. Well, just after this. there's nothing it can do with that. I'm not sure if I want to move the regimental HQ. Yeah, and I've got another regimental HQ up there as well, but remember, they have movement under fire as well. So if I was to move it, I couldn't move it from blue to blue here, or here to here. I could move it into there though, because brown's gone now. Brown, red and blue are all safe, so it could move into there, which I think makes some sense, doesn't it? I think I want to do that. It does mean these are going to do something. I'm not sure what. Well, they're either going to remove the disruption. Well, you know what? I think I'll allow myself to leave the HQs just until I decide what I'm doing with the disrupted units, because that could affect where you want to move them. I don't think I'm doing anything out of order there. I can't do the disrupted units to the end, but I could leave my regimental HQ moves until just before the end. I think that's fair. So the only other one is this. So my guess is that, what's that? Got a heavy weapons unit as well, but we're not adjacent. We've not got an adjacent, and it couldn't help that because that's from 2nd Battalion. These are from. Could I have used that? Maybe. I might have been able to use that because that's not from a battalion, is it? Oh well. So if we are going to move these, you're going to be moving from red to red, blue to blue as well. That's not good, is it? We kind of need to move into there though, don't we? So if we were to take one hit, what would you take it on? I mean, you could take it on this, couldn't you? Is that daft? I think we want to do this, don't we? What is this going to do? This is disrupted, so it can't do a preservation move into intense fire anyway. So it might well be that it's not going to be able to do anything there either. It's probably just going to remove its disruption, I think. So do we make this movement under fire move into there with that stack? And we'd be drawing for either red or blue to take a hit. I think we really need to get into this hex to do something with these guys. I'm doing it. Okay. So we're going to move these. I'll get free action again from the battalion HQ into here. We're moving under fire on blue and red. So we either get blue or red on this card. Kind of hoping for not this. Here we go. I've got blue. Damn. Right, so we do take a hit. So somebody... Ah, yeah, of course they get left behind. Disrupted, don't they? Grr. Well, I suppose we kind of want to keep this guy going, don't we? I mean, he's better than this. So I guess we're going to take the hit on C18. These are going to succeed in moving into there. And he's going to be hit and disrupted in that beach hex. Now, remember, he is not going to be able to remove his disruption, but I'm going to deal with that by basically tilting him because he's had a move, and then I will understand that and know that he cannot remove that disruption at the end of the action phase. Okay. Right, well, that was interesting. Yeah, it went pretty well. We've used the 3 actions, so really only got to come back, look at the couple of HQs, and then consider some preservation moves and disruption removal, which we'll leave that until the end of the turn. Right, I'll wrap this up because that is going on again as usual, further than I thought, longer than I thought. So I'll leave it just now, and then we can come back part 13 and finish off the US action phase, hopefully. Okay, cheers.